should have happened, because this wasn't. Now, again, teams can be wrong. The league as a whole can be wrong. Hell, the Baltimore Ravens drafted a 25-year-old tight end before they drafted Lamar Jackson in the same draft. The die is not cast on who Shedeur Sanders.
They said he wasn't ready. They said without months of practice reps, Shedeur Sanders would crumble the second the lights came on. But then, Rich Eisen dropped a truth bomb that made the entire NFL stop in its tracks. In less than 2 minutes, Eisen didn't just defend Shedeur, he roasted every critic, every hater, and every scout who doubted him. And he did it on national TV. This isn't the story of some rookie QB learning the ropes. This is the story of a young quarterback stepping into a league full of sharks and proving he might be the one doing the biting. Before Shedeur Sanders even set foot on an NFL field, the whispers had already started. He's not getting enough reps. You can't throw a rookie out there cold and expect him to survive. The preseason was supposed to be his time to settle in, but instead, he was stuck watching from the sidelines, taking mental notes while other quarterbacks soaked up precious practice snaps. To most rookies, that's a nightmare scenario. Every pass, every drill, every rep matters when you're trying to earn a starting spot. But for Shedeur, it was more than just a lack of practice. It was the perception problem. Coaches, analysts, and even some fans assumed that without those reps, he'd walk into his first real game blind, nervous, and completely unprepared. Rich Eisen saw it differently. On his show, he tore apart the idea that Shedeur needed to earn basic preparation time just to be taken seriously. To Eisen, this wasn't about whether Sanders could throw. It was about whether the system was setting him up to fail before he even had a chance to prove himself. And the real drama? That was just getting started.
Speaking in Cleveland high schools.
Weekend after, flying out immediately to get to work.
But his character's terrible, right? You know, and listen, he interviewed bad, you know, according to who? The New York Giants? No offense, Bert. The same New York Giants that gave Daniel Jones a huge contract and let Saquon Barkley out the door. That's the intel we're trusting here?
That was for him to celebrate. He just made, look, he put in work in college. He had the privilege of being coached by his father.
When the usual critics fired off the same tired jabs, calling Shedeur unprepared or questioning his character, Rich Eisen wasn't having it. He didn't just disagree, he went full throttle, serving up a blistering response that left the haters scrambling for cover. He pointed out how the so-called intel on Sanders came from questionable sources, like the New York Giants. The same team that handed out big contracts to players who never lived up to the hype. Eisen's sarcasm cut deep, making it clear these criticisms were more about lazy narratives than reality. Sanders wasn't some rookie riding coattails. He'd earned his stripes in college, grinding at 2 programs and learning under the guidance of his own father. A football mind many would kill to have.
Pickens had strained his hamstring. Shedeur, they say his first day in pass, 9 for 9, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They were just hating him.
This wasn't a story about nepotism or luck. It was about relentless work, talent, and a kid who refused to be underestimated. Eisen wasn't just defending Shedeur. He was setting the record straight for anyone willing to listen. And after his fiery remarks, there was no going back. The chatter shifted. The game had changed. When the usual critics fired off the same tired jabs, calling Shedeur unprepared or questioning his character, Rich Eisen wasn't having it. He didn't just disagree, he went full throttle, serving up a blistering response that left the haters scrambling for cover. He pointed out how the so-called intel on Sanders came from questionable sources like the New York Giants, the same team that handed out big contracts to players who never lived up to the hype. Eisen's sarcasm cut deep, making it clear these criticisms were more about lazy narratives than reality.
At 2 locations already, so it's simple. So that's why when people say I'm not, one of the top quarterbacks or the top quarterback, is what are y'all going based off of? Because I did it year after year after year, and you see the progression. So it's like, obviously, it got to be some type of external hate that you have for the family for the last.
Sanders wasn't some rookie riding coattails. He'd earned his stripes in college, grinding at 2 programs and learning under the guidance of his own father. A football mind many would kill to have. This wasn't a story about nepotism or luck. It was about relentless work, talent, and a kid who refused to be underestimated. Eisen wasn't just defending Shedeur. He was setting the record straight for anyone willing to listen. And after his fiery remarks, there was no going back. The chatter shifted. The game had changed. From the moment Shedeur Sanders stepped onto the practice field, it was clear he wasn't just there to survive. He was there to take over. No wide-eyed rookie fumbling with basics. No hesitations or second-guessing. Instead, every move was deliberate, every throw sharp and confident, like he owned the place.
I'm a firm believer. If I wanted Shedeur Sanders at 2, at worst at 33, of course I already think that he's better than other quarterbacks. Because that's the type of talent, that's where I would take him at.
His footwork was smooth, his arm a laser-guided missile slicing through defenses. The whispers turned into cheers as teammates picked up on his quiet authority. He wasn't just filling in, he was leading, calling audibles, and controlling the offense like a seasoned pro. Coaches started talking differently, using words like natural leader and coachable, phrases usually reserved for veterans. The locker room vibe shifted. Suddenly, receivers ran routes like they were racing for championships. Linemen fought harder, and the entire team rallied behind their rookie quarterback. And it wasn't just on the field. Shedeur's calm, collected demeanor under pressure made it obvious. This kid was built for moments like these, the ones where legends are born.
My guy's he's got to get reps in somehow. They don't want to give him practice reps. Let him practice before and after. And he's in the NFL now. Of course, he's going to do all he can to warm his arm up, to get some reps. Like, what are we talking? It's going to be so funny when Shedeur ends up being the first quarterback to get these guys to the playoffs or win a playoff game since like Baker Mayfield. Like, I have a feeling that when he gets the time to shine, everybody's going to be like, dang, we really should have just drafted him in the first or second round. Like, we wasted a pick on Dylan Gabriel. What are we doing? His arm is sore, so he's that's bad? What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about?
Despite the growing buzz, skepticism still clung tight. Some said Shedeur wasn't NFL ready, that his draft spot in the 5th round was proof enough. But those doubts ignored the bigger picture. Talent isn't always measured by draft order. Critics pointed to his limited practice reps, calling him untested and fragile. Yet, when opportunity knocked, injuries, trades, fate, he didn't fumble. Instead, he stepped up and silenced the noise with precision and calm that veterans envy. Even the harshest doubters had to admit, this wasn't luck. It was preparation meeting moment. Shedeur's football IQ and leadership shone through, rewriting the rookie playbook. And with every touchdown, every clutch pass, the narrative shifted. The kid once dismissed as just a name was proving he belonged, and then some.
One me. That's what he was saying. And I'm saying, really? That's what we're doing now? That's what you're doing? You're trying to disassociate yourself from a quarterback that's on your roster at this particular moment in time. You give him no first team reps. He's been working out with the 3rd team, and then you just gonna throw him in there.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Sure.
Isn't that the job every week of a backup quarterback? Backup quarterbacks never get first team reps. But if a quarterback goes down, you are required to go into the game and operate at a high level in the game. So that's to me, that's number one. That's number one.
I need to throw a question at you. Go ahead.
Talent on the field is one thing, but winning over a locker room? That's a whole different battle. And Shedeur Sanders? He's winning it without even breaking a sweat. Teammates aren't just respecting him, they're following him. The energy around the team has shifted. Receivers run sharper routes, linemen block harder, and coaches talk about him like he's the heartbeat of the offense. It's rare to see a rookie change the locker room dynamic so quickly, but Shedeur's quiet confidence and work ethic have made that happen. The buzz is real, and it's contagious. No longer just the coach's backup plan, he's the guy others want to rally behind. The foundation for something special is being laid, and everyone inside the building knows it. Shedeur Sanders didn't just arrive. He announced himself with authority. From battling for reps to shutting down critics and earning a locker room's trust, he's rewritten the rookie script. This isn't a fleeting moment or a hype train rolling through town. It's the start of a new chapter, one where talent meets opportunity and confidence becomes unstoppable. The NFL is watching, fans are buzzing, and the doubters, they're running out of excuses. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing the game, he's changing it. And as the season unfolds, one question remains: how far can this kid go?